Right, hi people. This video is about having a look to find out what's wrong with this bench mounted, well, freestanding bench mounted sander. It's made by Warco. I've had it at least 15 years. I've got a Warco WM16 mill over there, and that's been pretty good to me. And I think of all the cheap machine tools, Warco are probably one of the better ones. In my experience. Anyway, this has been great. It's been used hard in my workshop when I used to work on cars and in model engineering, and I still do a bit of work on cars now and then, mostly classics, but I often have to make stuff, and this is really good for tidying bits up. Now, of late it's been very noisy and it's been very finicky getting the belt to run central. It wants to go off one way, then it wants to go off the other way. You adjust it, then it goes back. So I think there's something not right with it, and the noise that it's making is quite bad. So I'm going to take it apart now and have a look at it. I know from working on these in the past that the driven roller has got bearings, proper bearings, and I'm sure this end has just got a bush of some description, and oh yeah, there's a lot of movement there already, I can see that. So now these are glued together and they've got an overlap. So if it's going around that way, you don't want it hitting the edge that's overlapped. So if it's overlapped that way, you don't want the work coming around this way and bashing the overlay, because it will make the belt wear out quicker and it makes it more difficult to get a nice finish. Now this is got a screw there, something behind it, and it's got a nut there. This comes out, I believe. It's got a spring in there, the type that likes to jump around the workshop if you don't look after it. So looks like it's got a tiny little nut behind there. Right, I've moved the camera, hopefully you can see that there. Right, I think the little bolt behind there is an 8. Probably getting in my own way there, but yes, it's a little 8mm and a screw, and that's obviously going to twang the second I take it out of there. Oh no, not too bad. So stick that back on there, down there. That can stay there, and that can go. Right, it's just got that. I think that's an 8 as well. Yep, oh, that's a bit loose. Put those bits down there. And that bit down there. And there we have it. Right, I'll move over to the bench. That means moving the camera. Right. Got this piece over by the bench. That side doesn't feel terrible. This side feels awful. So I only had these big ones that I could find for the circuit. They're meant for bigger stuff like wheel bearings, but they've done the job. I'm going to use a new one of them anyway, but I'll put it back over there with the other bits. Okay, so yeah, well, that part's not too terrible. I don't know if you can see that, but that bit of it's not too terrible. That bit, however, is. So that side's got a modicum of play. This side is like a dick in a shirt sleeve, so something's going to have to be done with that. Now, that looks like a brass bush in there. I'm not sure if it goes all the way through. No, it doesn't. So that's a brass bush, as is the other end, and it's got a little indent there, or a little bit sticking up proud to rub against the sides to stop it moving around too much, I suppose, so lessen the surface area if it's only got a small raised bit. I think with a bit of grease that one will survive, that good one, but obviously this one, I don't know how good the camera's going to focus while it's zoomed in, but that's your problem right there. So that's the next thing. Let's knock this out and see if what we need to do. I've gripped this with a bit of cloth, well, several layers of cloth, but it's not really holding it that tight. I don't want to squash it, it's only alley, but I've got a bit of wood underneath it to stop it going downwards, so hopefully this brass drift, well, that was almost too easy. Always worries me when the things go that well. Anyway, there you go. That's the main crux of the problem. And that's that. So this bit can go over there, we don't need that anymore with the rest of the bits. That bit can go back up there. Now, got to measure this, find out the diameters of everything, draw a little quick picture. Don't want to make too much of a meal of it, just want to get this thing done and working really. So knock something up. Now that's, I think that's brass. It might be phosphor bronze, which I have got a lot of. So need to have a look through there. That's not bad, is it? That's just a little bit bigger than, so that'll be ideal. Oh, look, it's already been used for something. So I think that's a kiddie. I prefer using this tiger striped phosphor bronze for my steam engine projects, because I know it's the proper stuff for that. Whereas a lot of this other stuff I've just picked up over the years and I don't really know where it came from. Here's another bit that should be long enough to sit in the lathe and still get to and not waste a big bit like that. So I think we'll call it that and that. Right, see you in the next part. Right, this is about 940. That's bang on an inch there. So that leaves 40, that's 60, so I've got to take 30 off each side. So if I zero my dial there, I think I'll go 15. Now I'm going to check that. That's 955. Which is about 940. So that's 15. So that's 7.5 each side. Zero that again. I'm going to go 7. Yeah, that's pretty good. Doesn't have to be perfect. And it has to be big enough to not fall through that hole, which it certainly is. So now, just got to do that little bit on the outside there. And that is 730. And this is 938. So 938 minus 730 208 divided by 2 equals 104. So touch that on there. Set that to 0. A very slight depth on that. Well, we don't need to go too mad. I'd say that's about right. It's 100, 104, but again it's not crucial, it's just got to be a lip that stops it rubbing the large part against the metal piece. I think that could be a tiny bit deeper. typical. It's a tiny bit too big, I reckon. Good. Yep. So that's about 115. Yep. And then we're going to go in to 708. I'm going to go a bit more than that, just to be on the safe side. It says 710. I'm going to go a bit more than that. It just means you poke more of it in there. So yeah, I think I'll drill the hole now. Normally I'll blow this off, but I don't want to fill the camera up with bits of bronze filings. Right, so the less warm one of these, I'm going to drill the hole in millimetres, so that just confuses everything. So get that to there, 11.8, so I presume that's going to be 12. I think I'll see what I got in drill wise and then I'll go from there. Right, so start off with a smaller one. My biggest drill that I've got there actually is to hand is only 10, so I will just knock that through while I'm here. 6, I think, or 6.5, I think it was. Bronze is funny stuff. It's a bit like brass. It seems hard. The bits come off like it's brittle, but it's a soft metal if you hit it. So it's soft, but it's hard. If you know what I mean. Taking a little bit longer than I thought actually. Yeah, there you go. Right, I'm not going to bore you all to tears with that now. You get the idea. I'm making that. The only crucial measurement on it is this one because it's an interference fit. I'm going to Loctite it in anyway, so if it's a tiny little bit it won't really matter. This is a repair on a cheap thing. It's not a Swiss watch, it's a Chinese made thing, and all it's got to do is be a bush the same size as a shaft. I don't want to make it too exact. If I do make it too exact to the size and then it gets hot, it's going to start binding up, so it's going to need a little bit of clearance. So I'm going to drill the rest of the hole off camera. I'm going to do the rest of that, and then I'll come back when I'm putting it all together. Cheers. Okay, it's all back together. I thought the video was getting a bit long and boring, so I put it back together. It was exactly reverse of taking it apart, with the only exception that I used a new E-clip on the shaft there because the old circlip was a little bit knackered, and the 8mm nut that held this assembly to move up and down that had worked its way loose, I got that nipped to just the right position, counted the turns, then I put a bit of Loctite on it, counted it back, made sure it was alright so that it won't come undone. The end result is it doesn't have the clanging anymore, and forgive the noise, but I'm going to start out and check something. Also, now you can adjust the belt position just right in the middle without too much messing about. So that's probably the end of this video now, so thanks for watching. My next one, this is, I think they call this a spoiler alert, don't they? Will be on that there Denby horizontal mill that I've acquired recently, or possibly on a 3.5 inch gauge steam rocket that I've bought. So all the best guys, bye for now.